Hello and welcome to Mike's Basement. I'm Michael and this is Fishing Barents Sea. Now, the last time we played this game, or I played this game, we were still in our lovely little boat, Sophia, here, and we had a couple of long lines, small ones. Since then I have played this game off screen because I thought that it wouldn't be really interesting for you to see me go back and forth a lot of times just to see me pull up lines, put lines down, gut the fish, back and forth, over and over and over again. So my idea was that I wanted to earn some money, and then when we got at the crucial point, getting a new boat, that's the interesting part, then I would get you back here. Now, but I do think that we owe it to Sophia here that we all take her out for one last trip before we put her on, well, at least temporary retirement. So I know for a fact, because I have checked the map, that we have a lot of pollock here. We also have some redfish, but we have mostly pollock. Now, I don't want to upgrade the boat anymore because we're going to change it anyway, but let me just show you what we're going to change it to. So we're going to go to the dock. Purchase boat. Now, it is my opinion that you can see here we are at 10,000 of 10,000, so we're almost there, and we have almost also taken in our, well, we have a little less than half of our pollock quotas back, but that was not what I wanted to talk about here. So we have room for 4 long lines with 10,000 hooks max, but you can't have any crew. Now, my opinion is that the most that boat that is the next in line in this game would for me be the Sharken. It's a relatively bigger boat. You can have a crew member. You can choose between long lines and nets. So that would for me be the obvious choice, but this boat has 2 problems. It is relatively slow. It has a relatively little engine, and it has a relatively small fuel tank compared with seen it in the light of its size. Now, we could go for another boat, the Follabuen, but that's an old fishing boat, and it can also only take long lines. But you can have 2 crew members in it. That is actually a big deal, because then the crew members can do all the line work for you. You don't have to do anything at all, actually. They can both pull in the lines, they can get the fish, and they can gut them. Also, it has a huge quota. Let's compare with the Burrow. It has, well, in our case it's Sophia, but Burrow, 110,000 total quota per year. The Follabuen has 506,000 kilograms total quota per year. So that is 5 times, over 5 times, well, yes, almost over 5 times as much. It has a huge fuel tank, a relatively large engine, but it's very slow. It's even slower, well, it is definitely slower than the Sharken. But I have the crab DLC, and that is crab with a B, so it's not crap, it's crab. Like crabs, Krabby Patty. And with that you can get the selfie. Now this is built in glass fiber, reinforced, you can read all that. But check this out. The Sharken cost 450,000 kroner. The Follabuen cost 1.25 million kroner. It can hold, it has stuff for more boat weight, blah blah blah, all that. But 450,000 kroner, 34 feet, One crew member, total quota 400,000, 900 liters. Check these numbers out. And then look at his selfie. 450,000, same price. 36 feet, so it's a little bigger. 2 feet longer. It's much heavier though. It has one additional crew. You can have a crew member here as well. The total quota is 450, so that's 50,000 more in quota. The fuel tank is 10,000 liters. Compare that with the Follaboon. It's the same tank. That's probably also why it's so heavy. It has an engine with 500 horsepower. With the Shotgun it has 75. Can do 30 knots, and you can have 8 long lines, or 8 nets, or you can have the small the small circular crab pots, so you can fish crab as well. This is a totally win-win in my opinion. And the funny thing is that it says selfie up here, but here it's called Selfa. But we're going to rename it in any case. So for me, this is definitely the obvious choice. Now I do think I want to go with this as a net boat for starters, and then we can take it from there. But that's the plans for the future. Let's take old Sophia here out, Miss Sophie. Let's take her out for her final trip. Yes, and we're going to go for, and I know it's mackerel because you can see here the green ones are pollock. You can compare, the pollock looks like this. It has, I go for the brown fins here and the head here. This is more greenish and more bluish fins. And we want to go for pollock because that is most definitely what there is most of. So you can see here the green one is the pollock. The yellow one is the, is that the cod? No, that's the haddock. And then we have the blue one is the cod. We don't want cod, and we definitely don't want redfish. So fortunately, redfish, they don't like mackerel that much. So let's bait all our lines with mackerel. And well, let's go fishing. Hopefully without scratching the paint. Now I haven't actually updated or upgraded the engine this much on this boat. So it is pretty cool actually that it is so, oh, not that. That it is so fast. So let's see how we're going to play this. We're going to go here, and then let's go somewhere around here. And then I found one good trick is that when you have these lines here, or these, that wasn't what I want to do. When you have these blobs here with fish, and that's also the reason why I want to go for yeah, I just lost the. You can see there are almost no king crabs here, so we have to go down here, and it's a relatively small area. There are not that many. But if we go for pollock, they are, oh, there are so many. And by setting the first, well, I have the first waypoint here, but setting one waypoint at the start of that area, and then setting the next waypoint at the end of that area, relatively end, I have sort of a good idea where I want to place the lines. But let's follow the waypoint. Oh yes, one thing if you want to play this game, you should be aware that you have these cards here, your licenses, what you are licensed to drive or sail. And in order to progress to the next certificate, you have to travel a certain distance. If you use the fast travel method, you will not gain any kilometers. So, put in another way, if you use the fast travel method, you will not gain any new certificate that quickly. But by doing these, well, to be honest, relatively long, boring trips here, you will actually get somewhere. regarding that. Let's turn on the interior light. Oh. Let's see if I... One thing I don't like, at least that's what I think. Now we're here. Let's put out our lines. Let's drop the first one. The other advantage by having the waypoint up there is that you usually have to put sort of distance of between 50 and 100 meters between your equipment, your gear, your lines or your nets. And by having a waypoint up there, you can sort of... It's easier to figure out good places to put down your nets other than just guess. So let's put it down here. I'm not sure, it's at least it's more than 50 meters. Now when you put down the buoys like that or the net, he down there will control the speed. You can't control anything. And I suppose the idea is that you need to have enough speed that you can pull out the line, but also have as little speed that you don't destroy the line, break it. Let's put it out here. Let's just see where we are in relation to... Oh, we're there. Oh, whoa. Let's try to put the last line in the middle. That would be, I guess, somewhere around 500 meters, perhaps. Now, depending on the length of this video, how long it's going to be, I might cut out the travel parts because, well, I honestly don't think that they're that interesting anyway. So let's see if I can avoid that whale up there. I'm not exactly a whaler. Whoa, hello. And 500, let's just put it down here. So the last line is going to be a little bit further away. So, ahoy, matey, let's set all the sails and go back to port. Arr. Well, let's go back to port. Now, you can set waypoints here, but I found that it's just as easy just to go for that. I'm not sure whether it's church or lighthouse, but that building right there. Just head for that. And then you'll automatically see where the port is when you get close enough. So I might cut out here, and then I'll see you in port. So we are about to enter port. Let's get a little rest and go out and pull out the last lines for Sophia. And we are docked. Arr, don't scratch me paint. Alright, so let's check it out. So the idea here is, for me at least, I look at the last long line I put out. It's an hour and 47 minutes, which means roughly that it took me an hour and 45 minutes or 47 minutes to get back to port. So given that it would also take an hour and 47 minutes to get back to the lines again, roughly, I will subtract 2 hours from the time it takes these lines here to be good, and that's roughly 19 hours, somewhere between 18, 19, 20, somewhere around that. So I would say sort of 16 hours rest, then we should be good. So let's do that. And this is instant sleep, so and we have slept. And it's raining. Perfect fishing weather. Let's see if we should get some fuel. No, I don't think that's necessary. No, it's not. Let's go pick him up. And you can see here 18 hours. Now, for some strange reason, let me just show you that. I think it has been a little... Now, see? Yeah, there are some clouds, but I don't see any thunderclouds, thunderstorm, or anything of that sort. There's something following me there. I'm pretty convinced that it must be a bug of some sort. Alright, so let's set some waypoints. One there and somewhere around there. Now you can see these are blue, which means that they are ready to be pulled in. That it's the time it takes when you have the most fish on your hooks. So you can think of it this way. When you put out your lines, you have absolutely no fish on your hooks, obviously. And as time goes, more fish will go and, well, bite the hooks. But as time also goes, you have sort of a point where you have loaded your hooks with fish, and it's And at some point, some of those fish will begin to, well, hop off or get untangled from the hooks, and they will be dropped from the hooks. So that is when you begin to lose fish. So when the lines here are blue, this is where you will have the optimal time to pull them in. And that is from somewhere around 18 hours up to 20 hours, I think. From 20 hours, they will begin to go back from green to red, and then you will lose fish. And just like before, I will speed up time. See you at the lines. So now we're here, let's pull in the first set of lines and get some fish. Now the trick here is, because we have not exceeded, but we have met the quota for redfish, I will try my best to avoid getting redfish up, because I'm pretty sure that I will get a substantial penalty for exceeding the quota. But just like you know, nobody's perfect. And let's reel it in, or haul it in. Yes. Yeah, I know. Oh, I did get redfish. Alright, well. It seems that you can't avoid redfish whatever you do. Or the other option, I can see what is redfish and what isn't. So let's get the next line. Yes, I would like to haul it in. Let's see. And yes, I have reached the maximum quota for redfish, I do know that. I don't have a particular big interest in redfish right now, anyway, that's why I put out mackerel on my lines. One of the things I don't understand when you have a thunderstorm like this, or thunder at least, you have that ordinary thunder sound, I can see that, and then you have that boom sound. It sounds more like someone who drops a bass on the floor, more than it sounds like thunder. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand it. Yes, I want to haul it in. And yes, I have reached the maximum yearly quota, blah 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 blah, for redfish. I have also almost reached the maximum capacity for my boat. And now it's getting really slow. Oh. So let's get the last line with Sophie here. Sophia, actually. And for those of you who are interested in those kind of things, I have actually named this boat after my daughter. And also because the convention is that you're going to name them female names and not male names, and so Simon, which is my son, wouldn't work. So and this is also where it will take some time to reach the final lines. How old are they? 20 hours, so hopefully we catch them in time. Well, if they turn green, that's okay. I'm pretty sure we'll get a reasonably good haul, almost enough that we can buy the boat without taking any loans, but we'll take the small little loan anyway. Then we can spend some money upgrading and stuff. Then I also get to show you the minigame for net fishing. There are also minigames there. Turn it off. And yes. And perfect. Yes, we are storage full. Perfect. So my little trick here is, if you have a reasonable steady calm sea, then you can gut the fish on the way home. If you have high waves and a rocky boat, then I would wait until you get into port, because you get high bonuses for making good gutting. But I think we will manage. I'll manage to do it here on this sea. It's okay. And again, set the heading for the building there, roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. And let's go into the boat itself and got. So let me see if I can impress you. Or not, perhaps. I think it's okay. The only problem is that my table where I have my keyboard and my mouse, it sort of have a hard end. So the worst thing that can happen is that when you got the fish and you are almost at the end, and then you hit the edge of the table and can't go any further with the mouse. And then you will screw it completely up. For me, if I can stay above 4 stars, or at least get 4 stars, it's a good god. Which this probably won't be. Oh, that was... Yeah, I knew that. Sometimes I really don't understand what the criteria for a good god is. Because sometimes I make a god where I think it's horrible, and then I get 5 stars. And we drifted a little, so just like before, I will see you in port. So now we are putting into dock with Sophie here for the last time, and let's see what we get. And also more interesting to see whether we'll get a penalty for exceeding the quota and not just get paid for the fish. I will certainly hope for the last part. Oh, no, don't hit. Oh, that was close. Let's see. Yeah, we don't get any for the red fish. So, well, we get 130 something thousand. That's pretty okay. 109? Why is that? Revenue, blah blah blah. Okay, well, it's okay. Now we have almost 400,000. So, let's take our proper farewells with Sophie here. Sophia. She was a good boat. But we'll go on to a better boat. Let's go into town, go to the bank, and oh, the interesting thing here is also that as you earn more money, you can also rent more money at the same interest rate. Now the monthly payment is pretty steep, but I think we'll manage. Yes, I would like to take out this loan. Now we have almost 1 million kroner. Oh, what to do with all the money? Let's see, which one should we go for? My opinion usually is that the best ones to go for... Well, that's interesting. The person with the maximum stamina is also the one who has the lowest rate. Well, that's obviously because he's not... Well, he's honestly not very good at anything. But, yeah, let's hire him. No, I know, but... Oh, alright. I guess we have to swap boat first, or buy the new boat. Let's go to the dock and purchase a boat. And we wouldn't even be able to buy the Folleburen here, but I wouldn't do it even if I had the money. But the Selfie, or Selfa, that seems to be a good boat. That's our boat. Yes. Congratulations on purchasing your first crabbing vessel. Check the wiki if you need any help using the king crab tools. Well, not at the moment, because we're not going to crab anyway. So we need to go into the dock. Let's look at the upgrades. Let's see, 500,000. Yeah, I think. I'm not sure. I don't think you can. Yeah, you need to get the previous first. let's take the last one. And let's go for... Yeah, we need to go for the radar upgrade. Oh, okay. Yes. Because then we can see... let's get the net hauler. Yes. I'm not going to upgrade this searchlight or the mast or anything like that, because, well, I find it to be completely useless. So yeah, maintenance. Let's go to town. Let's see, boat services, insurance. They give 40% of value of boat in case of emergencies. Yeah, 180,000 krona and 18,000 per year. Well, that's okay. Let's do that. Yes, okay. We have the money. And yes. Let's see, the bar, the bank, the crew. And again, let's go for Sander Pedersen. Yes, I would. Can I get anyone else? Dan Trump? Oh no, I'm not going to going for anyone called Trump. Even though his rate is pretty okay, but he needs to be trained a lot. Alright, let's see, on board we have Sander. I'm not sure, can we get one more? Yeah. No, we can't. But we should be able to rest him at the crew house. Yes, let's see if we can do it like this. And then get Dan here also. Yes, we can. Oh, how nice. Let's see, crew house. We have Sander. Let's put him to rest at the crew house. And let's get Sander instead, because he needs some training in all kinds of things. He's a pretty good pot baiting and setting. Let's see, net hauling, he's not very good, so we're going to train him in that. Obviously Dan is a little bit better because he has a rate of 1.3, but yeah, you know. Return to selfie, yes. Let's go to the dock and change the name. And I think we're going to call it Marie, because that's the name I thought about. And now we have 276,000 because we also need some equipment. I'm not going to change anything of this because, well, let's get a better gutting knife. And that's all. But we need some nets. I think we're going to get 2 165 meters nets. No, let's get 4. Then we can set 2 and go back and go out and set 2, and then we can go back and forth like that, just to see how much we can have in one trip, or on the boat, how much a net roughly is. Let's check out the map. Now obviously you can see we have fished it, almost fished it dry here, but there are still some pollock, so let's set some nets there. No, yeah, redfish we have, haddock. Oh, we have a lot of haddock. So let's do that, set it and set it there. No. Move that over here and then set that. Place a waypoint here. Alright, this is going to be the last trip in this episode. It almost sounds like a speedboat. It's a pretty hard to steer actually. It's wobbly. And it is also noisy. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. But we are there pretty quickly. Or get there. Alright, let's see what we can do with him. I'm not going to get him to haul the net because... But we're going to set him to cook. "21 knots, that's pretty okay. Now this boat has a really cool interior because here we have two screens, so we can both see the map, but we can also see the sonar. And we have rotate searchlight. We have a radar that doesn't function, but I need to be out in order to see when I reach the waypoint. Let's take off some of the speed. Let's change it to the sonar and let's see. Well, we're just going to put out the net here. Let's put one net. Now, obviously you can see this little bar here going side to side. And if we have a rough sea, it is pretty hard to actually steer the boat because then it will go from side to side to side. And the more you wobble here, the more you'll damage your net. So the idea is to keep it relatively steady. But I don't think I need to counter steer anyhow now. So there it went a little to the side. Yep. There we go. Let's move it. Let's get these 50 meters or so away before we set out the next net. I think we're going to set out 2 nets for starters to see how many fish we get compared to. We have 15,000 kilograms, so now let's put out 3. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not good. I went the wrong way. Now the good thing about the nets is that they will just catch fish. You don't have really to concern yourself with what kind of fish you are fishing for because, well, nets don't care about the species of the fish. Alright. Let's see where we are with respect to... I think at around 600 meters, something like that. We'll put out the last net. Now what makes this a little bit hard is that it's hard to discern what is actually movement of the boat compared to what is just wobble back and forth. I really do think that this is, from the crab DLC, this is a winner boat. You can do all three kinds of fishing with this boat, and you can interchange a little bit, shift between them. So when you are tired of doing, let's go back. When you're tired of doing net fishing, you can go for crab fishing instead. Let's just avoid the nets. Let's see. Just reduce the speed a little bit, and then let's go out and look, because I really want to see whether we have... Oh, there are more clouds now. Okay. We'll just turn off the exterior lights. So can I do that? Yeah, let's do it out from here. Interior lights. Work lights. Let's see. Oh. Stuck. See. Well, I suppose there are a little more clouds than, but not much. Let's steer the boat. So I think this time I'm going to go to port, sleep, and then I will meet you back out at the nets. So now we are at the nets. So first of all, let's get out the crew window, because we have to put our man here to work. I think I can see the first pair of buoys up here. Let's put him into net haul. We need to have him there because we can't haul the nets without him. Yes, we would like to do that. And here comes the little mini game. And if you don't do it the right way, you will destroy or damage your nets. And you don't want that. That is, if you hit the wrong button, you will damage the nets. That's the idea. Or don't get them in time. I seem to be doing pretty okay. But maybe I should not jinx it. So the thing it's trying to simulate here, the game, is that when you get the nets in, you want to sort of get the fish out-tangled. That they're entangled in the net, and you want to get them out without destroying the nets. So I suppose that's a pretty okay catch. Let's put him to rest. He won't get that much rest, but let's give it to him anyway. Because I didn't manage to... I forgot to put him to rest while I was docked, so... yeah, you know. But he did a lot of work, that is for sure. I'm not sure whether we can... Let's see if we can haul the nets. But then we have to gut them first. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's put him to work there. Let's take off the speed a little bit. Oh. See if we can do it now, come on. Yeah. Okay, we could that. Alright, good. From the numbers, it seems that we have gotten a pretty okay catch. So let's see how much we get from 3 nets, if we can go with all 4 nets at once. Oh, we're almost full. So no, 2 nets, that's all. Let me see if I can see. Oh, they're over there. There are the buoys. He probably won't even get to his bed before I wake him up again. Nope. Get back. He's pretty fast. I think he's just standing right behind the door and waiting for me to call for him, and then he just jumps out. I hope he knows that he doesn't get paid more for being such a sport. So 3 nets. Not good. You can see the net gets a little bit of damage whenever I hit something wrong. And then we need to go back into port and repair it. I think you can repair them. I'm not sure. We're going to see. Storage full, so not more than 3 nets, that's for sure. So we got 15,000. That's a pretty good catch, I will say. So let's see how it does. Oh, too tired to work, yeah. Of course. So I'm going to pause the video right now, also because of all that noise from the engine, and then I will see you in port where I alone hand got the fish. See you there. So while you were away, I actually managed to get Sander here to play his little gutting violin there. I don't know, I just think it looks like he's trying to play some sort of instrument and not like he's gutting a fish. I'm not the big fisherman, but I do know how gutting looks like, and it doesn't really look like that. Maybe he's I don't know, directing a choir or something like that. I'm not sure. It looks pretty funny. So, well, we wait while Sander here is getting tired again. You can see my shadow on his legs. And then I will take over and gut the rest. And then, actually, I found out that you should sell your fish between, I think it's 9 and 18, and that is 6 p.m. or something like that, to get the optimum price. I think we're going to rest first and then sell the fish. So I'll see you when Sander's finished. Hey, you Sander, I think you should get that mole there checked. It doesn't really look very nice. Yeah, I think you should get an appointment at the doctor. So now Sander was too tired to work, and we have to take over for him. Well, that's okay. He's been a sport. So let's gut some fish with our new knife. That's okay. Five stars. That's the way to go. We certainly have more fish to gut at this moment, but we also have gotten... Oh, I don't think that was a good one. Yeah, okay. It was a good... Like I said, I'm really bad at predicting when I do a good gut and when I do a bad gut. Let's see if we can get it in one. Ah. Terrible. Yeah, 3 stars. That was better. Well, I must say I certainly get a lot of practice in gutting. I do hope that this bigger haul here will give more money. Money, 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 money. Yeah, one important thing to notice here is that you don't need to get a full star in order to get 5 stars. There you go. Alright, so we're going to set to port and rest. No, we're not going to sell them yet. And let me see, 23, then something like, let's say, let's just say 10 hours. Then it should be 9. Let's do that. You paid money. Oh, okay, yeah, some loan and stuff. Let me see, sell fish. Fish market. I don't have any option for selling the fish. Do I have to go out and then go back again? Let's repair the net, yes. Well, apparently. Let's see. And let's go in again. And now it's 9, so we should get better prices. I think we're going to get almost 300,000 for just one catch. That's pretty good. Yeah, almost 400,000. I think we can get some upgrades. So let's see. And I don't think the loan or prices for having him resting or anything like that will be a problem at all. Let's see, dock. Let's buy the fuel, repair, upgrades. Let's just upgrade the last one. 289,000. I'm not going to upgrade the engine yet. I'm definitely not going to buy a new boat. Let's see, dock. No, that was where I was. Here. Let's go for all 8 nets. Now we have 265,000. Let me see. Is there anything else here we can go for? Let's go for steel. We have the aluminum. I'm not going to use that, so I'm definitely not going to upgrade this. But let's go for the rubber sports. All right. Let's see what we can catch. All species. Well, there's a new area here. It's relatively small, but there are some fish there. But other than that, we're going to set out and set our nets here again. And then I think we're going to have to explore the area in the coming episodes. But this is where this episode is going to end. I hope that you have enjoyed the fishing. I hope that you have enjoyed this series. You know the drill. Like if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, well, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe and hit that little bell button, and then you will get notifications whenever I do something completely different or something new. Oh, we got a new reputation. I didn't even see that. Now we are sea hand, whatever that means. Yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye bye.